In 2012, a young woman in Pakistan was shot under the Taliban's regime for going to school, but then survived to tell her story of being a women's education activist. In 2020, a young man was able to collect and donate over 500,000 books and over 100,000 meals for food insecure families. Now, what if I tell you the young woman was 15-year-old Malala Yousafzai, and at just 17 years old, she was the youngest ever to win a Nobel Peace Prize? And what if I tell you the young man was 11-year-old Orion Jean, who was named Kid of the Year by Time magazine? These are just a few of the names of youth who have done incredible things to change their community, and their actions are a testament to the power of youth initiative and youth voice. My name is Anaya Kazim, and today I'll be talking about the importance of youth empowerment through my own experience. Growing up in Bangladesh, I was often surrounded by the prevalent issues of food insecurity and poverty. With so much of the country's population suffering from these issues, it was something that was hard to ignore. My family always taught me the importance of giving back to my community, one way or another, even if it may seem small to me. For example, whenever there was a death in the family, a few of my relatives and I would come together and we would pack meal boxes and deliver them ourselves to the slums. I will never forget the smile of this one older lady when I handed her her box. This moment, as an 8-year-old, it was really eye-opening to me, and this moment always stuck with me forever. This experience of mine has always further encouraged me and inspired me to give back to my community. But at the end of the day, I was just an 8-year-old kid. What could I do, being 8 years old? The only real difference I can make is when I'm in my 20s or 30s. This discouraged me. This hindrance, combined with the lack of exposure and opportunities available for youth in Bangladesh, led me to forget about the passion I had for this. I lost interest in it for a while. It wasn't until I moved to Florida a few years ago that things started to change. As I started school, I recognized my peers all around me giving back to the community and helping one way or another. I wasn't used to seeing kids my age or even younger contributing. This made me realize, why couldn't I? As I heard more and more stories such as those of Malala and Orion, I realized I can make the difference I wish to see in the world. I started off by joining service clubs in North Broward. And this started off, and my passion was once again ignited, just like that time in Bangladesh when I handed that lady her box. My experience in service clubs led me to found the UNICEF Club in North Broward to further address the rights of children in our community and beyond with support from an international organization. Not only did UNICEF teach me the need to advocate for these children, but it also made me stop, recognize, and once again recognize the children around me who are just as passionate as me to make a difference. I learned that this sense of community further encourages youth to want to make a difference and help envision a better world. A world where there are unfortunately millions of children who live a life much less privileged than ours. It is important to give back to them and empower youth to want to make the difference, to envision a much better world. A much better world is so all these children can live a life just like ours and be more privileged. This sense of community is what further encourages youth to want to make the difference. Youth are shaping the next generation and changing and guiding the future to be a better world. It is important to support them and help them achieve their efforts. To amplify this message, I started an initiative in Bangladesh to help the youth over there understand their power and the potential they could have by using their voice to unleash their potential. This was a very unique experience, and going back to the community that fostered my passion in the first place was a rewarding experience, and even better that I get to fill in the gap for opportunities that were not available to me when I used to live there. I was fortunate to have a family that supported my passion and encouraged me to learn about all these issues that face our world and want to make a difference. It is important to remember that you don't need to win a Nobel Peace Prize or be given a fancy title to be recognized for your impact. An impact is an impact, whether it's by donating, fundraising, or collecting food through drives. It is all what you can do to make a change. Sometimes, and whenever I doubt myself, I think back to that moment in Bangladesh and the smile of that older lady and why it matters to keep on going. Sometimes I even doubt myself in the school and recognize the peers. Maybe I started too late or I'm not doing enough as them. But then I look back and realize how much I've done and how far I've gone. Because if you told me even 5 years ago that I as a 17-year-old could have the power to make the difference I wish to see in the world, I would have never believed you. Thank you.